Um, what motivates and inspires me to turn the camera on today is I just watched, I told you in a recent video about a Bill Ryan interview with Project Avalon of someone on the dark side with the pseudonym Charles. And my suggestion was that not everybody needed to watch the video, that I found it challenging to encounter this energy and this mindset. The mindset is very powerful, and that comes across. And I kind of felt for Bill. Um, he's very game, you know, stepping in there to spar like that. And, you know, a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do it. Okay, I haven't gone and looked or read, um, but apparently there was quite a response to that interview, a lot of it very negative. And Bill actually came out and did a 45 or so minute video based on that response. Now, that's highly unusual. I don't recall having seen that before, where Camelot or Avalon does a video. They do a video, you know, and the comments are what they are. But he came out and did this second video, which I would recommend that everybody watch. It's very good. His points are very well thought out and very well stated. And he's got heart. This man has heart, and he is doing his best. Um, and I just wanted to speak for a moment. I guess I'm not surprised at the response um, and at the judging that's going on, at the condemnation. Bill, how dare you, you know, buddy up to this guy? How dare you do this? And there's right, wrong judgments being made, and people saying, well, this is all obviously nothing but disinformation, you know, and it's beneath you. And there's all kinds of, I would call this reaction as opposed to response. And so I just wanted to share what my heart has to say about this kind of thing. What we're looking at is polarization. And so on the face of it, I'm stepping above. And I'm saying, you know, every coin has two sides. We contain them both. And taking sides and polarizing and making judgment and criticism is not helpful. It's not productive. And it doesn't advance the conversation. If a person really doesn't like what's been said or done, you know, the choice is to turn away. That's always an option. We don't want to crush one another's right to speak. I think it's really important. I don't find anybody, even the highest teachers out there, to be 100% right, to have 100% truth. And I think it's kind of foolish to look for that or expect it. We have a heart, and if we all, with these beautiful hearts, zipped up our mouth until we felt we had 100% truth, accuracy, and so on before we would speak, we'd all be taken over, and you know, things, it doesn't make sense. So heart has to speak. Heart has to do its best. It has to guide us, each one. And that's what's happening with Bill Ryan. And he's a very brave soul. And I admire him. I admire him deeply. So I did want to say that. I think it's a great opportunity we have to, you know, there's a lot of rumors. There's disinfo, there's information overload, there's a lot of confusion, and rightly so, especially for us, as long as we're living in mind, as mind tries to sort it all out. my suggestion is always to go to the heart, and we'll receive the aid and assistance there and the discernment that's required to sort through it. And that won't make us 100% right in our discerning all the time either. But it's a major, major advantage over those who are trying to sort through everything in the head. That's a losing game. And that's how we're easily manipulated and played with. And so I would say the only way to watch these videos, the only way to get in contact with this energy is from your heart. That's where you sit on the throne. And that's where you rule your internal kingdom. And you have advisors. You have beings that work with you, seen or unseen, mostly unseen. But we have a soul group that we're always connected with. We have guides, beings of light, that are assigned to us as our guides. That these arrangements were made before we took incarnation. And all of that is pretty much invisible until we start rising in consciousness and frequency. Because these beings, it's simple, these beings occupy higher frequencies. Hello. Not until we are rising to higher frequencies do we come in resonance with them. Okay? So being in heart is always best. Being in love is always best. Love is going to be the highest frequency there is. And it covers all the rest and enables us to move in, through, and around all the various frequencies and still be anchored in light. And this can be done. So we can listen to the talk of the fallen ones. We can listen to some of their thought processes and just, a little bit, just a touch, the barest touch of what it's like to look at the world through the eyes of the 33 bloodlines, shall we say. And I suspect Charles is a byblow from one of those bloodlines, the way he was recruited from childhood and the way he is quite uncontrollable and so on. But that's really kind of neither here nor there. I think what's important is for us to recognize that union is what is called for, and not allowing ourselves any more of this brother against brother crap, because that's what it is. When people of integrity are doing their best and they make a decision to go forward and do a highly risky interview. Come on, people, Bill is risking his life. On that measure alone, it's worth a good listen. And again, if you are an empath or someone very, very sensitive, maybe you can get enough of the interview just by listening to the 45-minute follow-up, 40-something, I don't remember if it's 45. And you can get a feel for what's been said. Bill does a very good job in the description field on YouTube of summing up the major points of that other interview. So you don't have to get your feet wet in that energy directly. You can get it indirectly through this interview. So I want to support what Bill's trying to do. There is disinformation, and it's unintentional on Bill's part. There is integrity there, and he's a patriot of light, not setting us out as one country or another country of the human race. He is a knight. Maybe his armor isn't as shining as it could be to be perfect, but none of us is perfect. And I like a man who takes risks and puts his, walks his talk. And so I think it's a really good thing. And I think we need to reconsider our anger. If we respond with anger to something like this, I think we need to look underneath that. Under anger, one can find fear if we dive deep enough. And so it's a good idea to be a watchman within your own heart of your responses and just to observe yourself as you're getting into this. So there, maybe that's enough. I just wanted to come out in support of a very brave man. You have to evaluate the truth of it all for yourself. No one can do that for you. And it's good to listen to others, but the farther we get away from our own heart and our own integrity there, we just get on shaky ground. So I think I'll keep it short. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. To encounter this energy and this mindset. The mindset is very powerful, and that comes across. And I kind of felt for Bill. He's very game, you know, stepping in there to spar like that, and with Project Avalon of someone on the dark side with the pseudonym Charles. And my suggestion was that not everybody needed to watch the video, that I found it challenging. And Bill actually came out and did a 45 or so minute video based on that response. Now that's highly unusual. I don't recall having seen that before, where Camelot or Avalon does a video. They do a video, you know, and the comments are what they are. You know, a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do it. Okay, I haven't gone and looked or read, but apparently there was quite a response to that interview. A lot of it very negative. What motivates and inspires me to turn the camera on today is I just watched, I told you in a recent video about a Bill Ryan interview